Hey world, I am back with another video and I am at my kitchen counter today doing research. Yes, research. You know I'm always on the hunt for new indie brands because of my love for them. Big luxury does not always have my attention. And I'll be honest, Chanel, Fendi, and of course the recent news of Versace being bought out by Coach makes me really wonder what that's going to look like in the future with all of the consolidation. Will they monetize the market and make prices go up even higher than they already are? Because usually that's the bottom line, right? Profitability. We shall see. Consumers like you and me are not exactly forced, but we kind of are, but we have a tendency to start looking at indie brands and have more appreciation for these brands. It's kind of like looking at these big luxury brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. They all had a origin and a stories and the passion that went into creating these brands. This was all decades ago, right? So we can kind of see that with these indie brands where they have a passion for starting their brands and their products and really have pride in their products. Enough of me yibber-yabbering. Also, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button to let me know you enjoy me doing this kind of research for you, as well as to introduce all of these lesser known brands. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Do come back as I will have a surprise. Just kidding. Who am I fooling? You know there will be a giveaway to show all of you guys my gratitude. So let's get right into it. It's called Flavored, and this is a Swedish company that has been around for about 10 years. And basically, their story is that the owners or the founders started as a shoe company, and they had people in Europe also take off their shoes when they enter a house, and they have house shoes, and most of them were for men. So they saw a market that they wanted to create house shoes for women, and that's their origins, right? Of course, they started making everyday shoes, whether it's boots, sandals, etc. But since then, they have created bags as well, which is really interesting because it reminds me of Ferragamo. Ferragamo started as a shoe company as well, and then they moved on over to making bags because, the leather that you use for shoes, you can always translate that to bags. So I thought this was a very interesting company, and their leather, they're so transparent. They are certified by the Leather Working Group, which is part of the EU, and how they source it. They will never use exotic skins, and all of their products are going to be produced and handmade in Italy. So I do appreciate that. They have a lot more information, which I won't go over, but definitely check out their site. I feel like it's a very minimalist brand if that's something that you are looking for, and that could be a staple that will last you for a while. I personally have not bought them from them before, but I did see their bags and they have piqued my interest in terms of how simplistic they look. Particularly, the one I like is the Haida Midi handbag. They were doing an end of season sale where they do have a one in light blue for like 50% off. And I was like, oh, I should totally get that and see the quality and craftsmanship of their products, right? But I was like, this does look a little bit like my Floron bag, where it's kind of like the nice top handle that kind of is sewn on the inside. And do I really need another blue black bag that is very similar, right? So I kind of resisted, and the prices is actually pretty good. The mini one is only $250, and then the larger one, ooh, I like this Macrack one. The large one is going to be priced at $340. So I feel like their prices are in the mid-range, kind of very on par with Pauline, Floron, APC, etc. Brand I want to introduce to you is called Little Liffner. Okay, I swear I didn't look for Scandinavian brands only, but it just happened that way. They are also a Swedish brand, and this was started by Liffner von Sodom, if I'm saying that correctly. And I actually saw this also via Instagram ads. They know how to get to me, don't they? And they were started back in 2012. Their story is actually kind of fun because it's very different from other brands. They actually say that they don't want to grow very fast. They want to grow slowly and steadily and create pieces that will last a lifetime. So maybe that's why we haven't heard about this brand, slammed all across Instagram and social media. They have a couple different models, and the one that actually, I was interested in is the macaroni bag. Very simple in design, but then when you look at the actual opening and closures, that really is cute to me. I love the brushed gold hardware and how unique the design is. Very similar if you are thinking about the style, very similar to the APC, the Celine box bag, the classic box bag, and it's just your typical shoulder bag, right? And this opening just seems like it's a very fun way of designing the bag and that element to give it a little bit of a unique sense. And it does come in a lot of different colors. Another one that I found really cute is the tulip tote. Simple in design, obviously, and of course, it's that one little special element that is different from other totes that are out there. Also mentioned that they are made in Italy. I was also looking at their FAQ and talking about how they produce their leather. They're not as transparent as the other brands that I'm covering today, but they did say that they use chrome tanning. I know other brands like to advertise that they do leather vegetable tanning, which is like the most traditional way. It takes the longest time. And when they did mention that they use chrome tanning, I'm like, what does that mean? So I did look it up, like, what is chrome tanning? Like, literally, I Googled it. And according to leatherfacts.org, it is the most common way of processing leather, and it's the fastest way. So it seems like there is controversy about how this is done because there's a lot of toxic waste that comes with it because of chrome, I guess, using chromium. So most companies who are more eco-friendly or their sustainability tend to move away from chrome tanning. But it seems like Little Liffner does use chrome tanning, and they said that they want to use sustainable ways so that the piece that you're using is going to last you a long time. So I don't know if that's the case. And again, I'm not a leather expert. Chrome tanning seems like it is going to deteriorate faster because it's processed extremely fast so that the leather comes out quickly. The prices on all of these bags that I looked at are going to be about five, retail wise, 400 to 500, 600-ish dollars. The third brand I want to go over is Pateau. So this is going to be not an indie brand, so to speak. It's more contemporary. And how I categorize that when I say contemporary is that they're not lesser known, but they've been around for a long time. So this company actually was started back in 1914, and it is a French brand that actually got acquired by LVMH in 2016, I want to say. The guy who started this brand died in 1936, and his sister took it over, and it just went in a different direction. Mostly it was clothing, but they do have bags. And the most popular bag that they have is the Pateau Le Petit or Le Pateau bag. All of their bags are made in Spain. They only have 2 or 3 models, and this one in particular has caught my attention, and it is available on 24S, and I know they do go on sale on other websites as well. But I think it's a very simplistic look, very sleek, very French. I feel like if you go walk down the streets of Paris or anywhere in France, this is something I would see on the streets, and people are going to be using it for years to come. It doesn't get old. I mean, it's just like a very lunar bag that's half circular, and it's got that geometric feel to it. So I feel like this is something that can pair with a lot of your clothing, whether you're going for casual look or if you're going for the more sophisticated, night out kind of look. And what's really cool, I was reading about it, they do include QR codes. And every bag has a QR code that comes with it and telling you the process and who made it and the origins of the bag and where the materials are coming from. So I thought that was pretty neat. The fourth brand I want to go over is called Wandler, and this is actually a Dutch brand. I know I've been on a Swedish Scandinavian kick, but this one's actually from the Netherlands, and they were started not too long ago, and actually in 2017. All of their bags are made in Italy and Portugal, and they do say that they are part of the leather working group. But it doesn't really tell us much about the transparency when it comes to if they're a chrome or if they're vegetable tanning. They do say that their leathers come from France and Italy. So I know they sell shoes and bags, which is, the way to my heart. But when it comes to their bags, an iconic bag is going to be the Horsenscha. Okay, I'm totally butchering that, so don't come for me. But it's this I don't know how you explain it. It's like a little bat looking like. I just think of bats, but I love it. It's so unique in terms of its design and yet really practical, right? Most of the bags that you think of, like the Pateau bag, it is circular at the bottom, and sometimes people find it hard to utilize because of the amount of stuff that you can fit in there. Whereas this one, I feel like you can fit a lot of stuff in there. If you get like, the mini, maybe not so much. I did read or watch a bunch of reviews. Most of them weren't in English for some reason. Maybe there's one or two, but most of them, even for the mini, they were able to get a good amount of things into the bag. Now, if you go with the regular one, obviously the medium one, you can fit pretty much, your everyday essentials in there with no problem and then some. Right now it's showing in euros, so it's in a higher range. It's going to be not the 300 or 400 typical that I was looking at, but it is in a higher dollar range. And they do have a YouTube channel. If you want to look at a quick like 2-minute video on this, I appreciate when companies do this. They have a video where the artisan is talking about how they create the leather bag, and they show you the process, and I'm sure in a shortcut. They said that it takes about 8 hours for a bag to be produced. So I'll link that video down below if you want to check it out. And then they have other designs, again, very minimalist, very simplistic, something that will last you for decades to come if you wanted to. The last brand I want to go over is Toteme. Toteme? Toteme. Okay, I'm butchering literally every single brand's name here. But what really got my attention with this particular brand was actually a while back, maybe like a year ago, where I saw their iconic jacket, which is the scarf jacket. This one's with the embroidery right now on their website, but the one I saw was completely a solid color. And I really, really wanted that jacket. But then when I saw the price, I was like, $11.30. I don't know if I want to spend that much money on a coat. So I started looking for alternatives, which is why I found, if you haven't seen my video, I did mod shots of my winter coat. I did find a dupe where I didn't have to jack the scarf on the mod shot, but it did come with a scarf where it looks very similar to this coat here. And it was for like a fraction of the cost. I think it was like maybe $200. Again, I'll link the actual coat I have on below for you if you want to check it out. That specific one is actually they're doing a 50% off. So I freaking love that jacket, and I'm really glad I didn't spend $11.30 plus tax on the same jacket. So moving on over to the story of Toteme. They were actually, again, a Swedish brand, started by these two people here back in 2014. They are looking with the passion and goal of creating sustainable pieces for modern women. And their clothing has just like, ooh, I really like how minimalist and yet very unique. And they did go on about how they are going to be full transparency by 2025. And it's really impressive. I went down a rabbit hole and started clicking on every single tab. And they literally have a PDF list of all of their materials and where they're sourcing from, what city, what factory, and what exactly they're sourcing from. And it's just crazy. If you want to check that out, it's definitely on their website and their FAQs. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you how insane it is. They literally have the supplier name, the factory name, the addresses, what kind of materials, and what company, how many workers they have. It goes down to the product name, where it's coming from. It matches up. It's crazy how they do this. I completely, I don't know what to do with this information, but it's pretty crazy how they are able to list it out. Again, this is why I appreciate indie brands and looking into them, and their ethics, their ethos. It's just on a whole nother level. Whereas Louis Vuitton or like Chanel, they'll never tell you any of this stuff. So going over to the bags, right? So you can see the T-lock top handle. They have a couple different brands, as you can see here. One that really got to my attention is the T-lock top handle bag. And of course, me being a brown and beige person, this is the one I want. They have a clutch one. It's out of stock, but I feel like this is a very unique design and yet very minimalist. You can see the trend here, right? And it just looks really nice. And of course, it fits a lot. And it comes with a top, my usual draw is the top handle with a shoulder strap and or a crossbody strap. And the strap looks like it's adjustable. I was actually in the New York City's, they have a store in New York City, and I did go in and browse really quickly. I was actually more looking at the coat last year, but I did come across this bag. I literally picked it up for like a microsecond and didn't look at like more into detail of the bags and put it right down and walked right out. But I wish I did take a couple more minutes to look at the craftsmanship and see the quality of it. But this bag has my attention, and I really think this might be in my wish list moving forward, but not official yet, but we'll see. Well, I hope that was fun for me to do an online show and tell. Maybe one of these bags will be an unboxing in the near future. We shall see. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you found this helpful. Comment down below which one interests you the most, or if you've never heard of any of these brands before and they're like, not really into this, or you actually like them. Let me know. Do come back, as I will be doing that celebration of 1,000 subscribers giveaway relatively soon. With all of your help, I will get there. I'm only a couple short, so I do appreciate all of the support that you've given me so far, and I just want to give back. So in the meantime, I've put my playlist of all the indie brand bags that I've done reviews on and unboxings that you can check out, and whatever the YouTube algorithm thinks that you'll like here. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see you next time.